Hello, welcome to another presentation of Lunchtime Live. My name is Louis Colo, your usual presenter of this program. And today, as usual, our cameraman is Henries. We're in the Montserrat district number 9, and the district, specifically we find ourselves in Lakbasi community. Today we have as our guest a man who the people of the district look at as being their choice. I don't know why, but they have some favor in him. We're about to talk to him about what he's doing about the district and how he thinks the district should go, with direction that the district should go in terms of getting its development agenda set. And so we have Fubbi, Henry Fubbi. He is our guest for this presentation of Lunchtime Live this afternoon on Real TV. And we're sitting right in his office. As a matter of fact, Lunchtime Live camera goes into your offices and goes into your homes, and we'll conduct an interview. We'll talk about national issue, talk about issue confronting the young people of Liberia. We'll talk about issue confronting Liberia as a country and where we think Liberia should be. Our guest will tell us where he thinks Liberia should be from now to 2017. That's what we'll find ourselves in his office this afternoon. Welcome, Mr. Henry Fubbi.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure.
Now, tell us, who is Henry Fubbi first?
Basically, Fubbi Henries is a Liberian resident of District Number 9, precisely on the airfield, and an accountant by profession. And I'm into so many things, and the main drive that we are pushing is how can we have a better Liberia through our initiatives from the Friends of Fubbi level, and I serve as the CEO.
Where do you think Liberia should be?
Firstly, I think we should be driving towards mainly being self-reliant, and that's a passion that I share greatly. And from the rural communities that we go to and interact with people, we tell them the only way we can change our history, we can change our destiny and give ourselves a better life is to be more practical about the things we do, and we should take initiatives from the community level our own selves rather than sitting and just waiting. Because the more we sit and wait, we find out that we are not making progress, because probably the person we are waiting for, the group we are waiting for, might come at the pace that will not be comfortable for us. So let us take the bull by the horn. Let us put aside some of our pride. Let us sacrifice some of the little resources that we have. Let us cut down some of the pleasure just to make sure that we give our communities and our country what it deserves by being there for ourselves, self-help initiative.
Many Liberians have said this, what you're saying, several times, several years back, Liberia being one of the oldest African country on the continent. People have said this before and they've gone. Others have said that they're currently in leadership. What difference can your statement make?
Right now we are not just talking, and I'm one person that also against those talkatives. I just talk empty talks without action. So we are putting our talks into action, and we are telling people and teaching people and showing people how to go about some of the things that we say. So we're not just making empty talk and telling people that this is how to do it, but we are doing it with examples.
What are you doing? What really is Fubbi Henry doing?
Okay, I'll just recount on some of the things that we have done. Today, there's an island between Matadi and 12th Street called the Fredericks Island. The Fredericks Island has, for the first time over more than 100 years, received concrete pavement from one end to the other. It was because the Friends of Fubbi visited the island in 2014, November 29, and saw people walking on round poles, makeshift round poles, rotting planks, as a means of commuting from Matadi to 12th Street, from 12th Street to Matadi, using the island as a means of transportation. And you found that probably you will have to go back and see some of the videos from the past, what it looked like before, and you will actually see that Liberia shouldn't have ever even looked like that. So we told the dwellers, I told them, I said, why are you guys walking on this kind of bridge and you feel comfortable? Pregnant women, children, go to school, men and women, market, churches, mosques, you still use this route. And the dwellers said, oh, we've been promised since 2013, and we are still waiting for the promise. I told them you waited 2013, nothing happened. 2014 is about to end. We have only about a month, nothing happened, and probably we're going to be waiting 2015 and also 2016, 2017. So what do you guys want to see? That's the first question I asked them. What do you guys want? They said we want concrete bridge. They said that's a good idea. What are you willing to put into the bridge? That was the next question that I threw to them. I said, think about it. I will come back and we can have a chat. And after 2 months, I went back to them and said, let's hear you. And they said, we want a concrete bridge and we have taxed every member once you are age 18 on the island to pay $10 over a period of time. So I said, that's a good start. So since you are willing to help yourself, let's look at the cost of the project and let's split it into phases. So we're not going to take $50,000-$60,000 budget to one person and say, can you help support our bridge project? But let's see how we can break it up into phases. So like 8,000, you can easily knock those. Somebody can willingly contribute 1,000 or 500, and we did the budget and we raised the material for the first phase, and went to the island on Fast and Prayer Day 2015, and we launched the project and threw it back to the community. Said like, this is your community. You have engineers, you have people that are here practically not working for now, and they have some time to some hours to spare. So let the community take charge of the workmanship. And the $10 you have collected for yourself, use it to feed yourself, because we're not going to, we don't have interest in taking your money. And this is the material that we have raised from the first phase. And we went ahead and we completed the first phase before we had a lot of noise coming up. But I told them, I said, look, that's how it should go. And today, from Matadi to 12th Street, we have concrete pavement, and we have been raising the alarm to get the other side completed. Then there were other several communities went also. The Gibson Avenue, for example, which is one of the notable ones. There was this issue of flood last year, 2015. Almost every part of Liberia, people were complaining, and Gibson Avenue was one of the alarming situations. The chairman called our team. We went there. When we visited, we toured the place, saw the issue of the flood, we saw where the problems came from, and we asked, what help do you want from us? He said, oh, we want you to give us some funding so we can pay somebody to come from, some group from outside to come and help us to open the waterway. So I told them, I said, that cannot work in our situation. The Friends of Fubbi will not work in that direction. But because you have young guys in this community that have what it takes to clean their own drainage, and they say, no, the young guys here are not willing to work, they feel that the water is too dirty and they will not want to go there. I said, okay, that's a good thing. But probably the way you are approaching them might be the problem. So let's throw it back this way. Go back to them and tell them, this is your community. You are sleeping by 12 o'clock in the morning. It starts to rain. After 2 hours, the water cannot find a way through because you have dirt in the waterway. It backs up in your houses, and you have valuable items, some your mattresses, your TV, all of basic things that you have there, all are spoiled by the dirty water. Then besides that, you're also going to be standing in that water because nobody's going to open that door around to give you refuge, because they themselves will be faced with their own situation. So you're going to be in the water, and after day breaks, the water that you're already in is not any kind of clean water, the water that filled with feces and other dirt. So you're looking at getting itch and other material on your skin. So you have to go to the hospital to also care for yourself. If you have children, even worse, because you're going to be treating cold and treating rashes at the same time. So you're not doing favor for anybody by going to the drainage to clean it. You are doing favor for yourself. So after they give the message, I'll give you guys 3 days and give me feedback. And the next day they call me and say, oh, we talked to the youth and they have agreed to come in. And the next thing I told them, we have this project that we're running with different communities helping to clean and open the drainages. We cannot buy tools for every community that will go in. So, but I think the communities who can support the process by you identifying who in the community have tools to give. So they went and said, go to Paflomo, for example. Paflomo, you have 1 shovel. Can you allow it to clean the drainage? Man Koto, can you allow your collars? And so they went into the community and they were able to gather their own tools. Then we just came in with some support to feed the guys that were doing the work. And the women of the community also were happy to do the preparation of the food. And we went there while they were working, and they were all happy. We took some interviews, and they were all proud to be of service to themselves. So that's those are some of the things that we've been doing. We go today to in Lakwasi, we also electrify 2 market through the group MAP. It's called Movement Against Poverty. And these guys, as you listen to one of the guys, they said that they were in the dark, always in the background. People look at them as drug addicts or people that just drink. So I told them, you guys, there are something far better in you that you can showcase to the communities and showcase to the country that will impact lives positively instead of just sitting here and doing your thing in the dark. What you do in the dark, that's your business. But I want to see you guys come out on a different note and let people start seeing you differently, rather than just looking at you on the sea. They see the liquor bottle, they should now see you and see you as development partner to the community. So they went, electrified 2 markets, and we told the marketeers we will do the installation and the connection and pay the first month bill. But afterwards, you have to take ownership of it and start paying your monthly electricity bill, so that you can see that you have taken ownership and you can help to sustain it. And with that, you found out that now those women, instead of parking their market by 5:30 to 6, they can also afford now to stay in the market up to even 9 o'clock selling. And on Saturdays, you can also stay longer hours. That you don't have to go, because on Sunday when you have to go to church, you don't have to come back to the market Sunday to look for your Sunday hustle before going to church, so at least you have time. Holidays, you don't have to stretch yourself to come in the market. You can also stay longer hours and sell before on the eve of the holiday. So the holiday, you can take that time to also rest your body. So we are going into different stuff. Currently, we launched this sanitation project with the youth in Ruto Town, and now we have extended it to Lakwasi, getting them to take charge of the community to clean their own environment.
So what is the motive behind all of this? District number 9 is being headed by Representative Muna Penner. What is the whole motive behind the Friends of Fubbi, the projects you carry on? What is the intention?
As I said, we say if it is for us, it has to be by us. If Liberia is to get better, we are the ones that are going to make Liberia better. And we are telling people that there are things that you can do for yourself. And those things that you can do for yourself, we encourage you to start doing them. And they should not be the basis of electing people into offices. Because if you can successfully clean your own environment, you can successfully clean your own drainage, you can successfully help and contribute towards your sanitation project, you can help to construct your own public toilets and other things. Come election time, those will not be criteria you use to grade somebody to give them elected offices. You will now start looking at Liberia from a bigger picture. And the bigger picture now, you start asking some questions. If my mother is sick in Lofa, for example, I don't need to bring her to Monrovia for healthcare. We should have better health facilities in Lofa to cater to her. So we start asking questions of what's your plan, what's your health policy for Liberia, so that we can be secure when we are sick. We know that we have what it takes to treat us. If somebody is sick and JFK cannot handle it, you want to refer the person to Tapeta. You don't have to drive to Tapeta, taking 2 days on the road because of bad road. You can look at how can we improve our domestic airline, that we can take 15 minutes from Monserrado to Nimba County and get that person better. Helicopter or domestic airline, those smaller crafts that can move from here to there, instead of looking for plane ticket to fly to Ghana, which will be far faster than riding long journey, and even probably riding on the road might even worsen the sickness, because you're going to be bumping on a lot of journey, taking in dust depending on the vehicle you're going to use. So we look at all those. You also talk about agriculture policy. What agriculture policy you have for the country, so that when somebody graduates from agriculture college, there's some incentive plan for them that they can be able to go to the farm, have better farming season. After their harvest, they can be able to also look at farm to market rural infrastructure development. What policy are you going to put in place, working with the executive to ensure that when my harvest is done, I can take my produce to the market the same day without being stuck on the road for a week or 2. My farm produce get rotting on the road because I cannot afford to get into the market on time. Then that discourages me from going to the farm the next season, because I found that there was no better yield this time. So we're looking at Liberia from a different point of view. So how can we change our mindset when it comes to election? Because we found that during election period, all people go for, you go to rural communities, we ask, oh, we want toilet. So anybody that has good cash or can afford to take some loan from the bank can go there, collect some loan, you want toilet, I give you toilet, you want hand pump, I give you hand pump, you want palava hut, I give you palava hut. By the end of the day, when you have made a decision and think that by those little gifts and those makeshift projects that were done by the so-called aspirant, and you use that as a means of giving that person state power, the person got 2 years probably to pay for his loan. So the district is no longer a concern for the first 2 years. After 2 years, probably I should now start thinking of making myself comfortable. So the district also will not be a priority for the next the additional 2 years that follow. So you got 4 years already gone. Year 5 now, I say, okay, I think election is next year, so let me start going back to the district to make friends and start knocking on doors. So we're telling people now, we shouldn't be using these things as a basis, but we should now take charge of the community, take charge about the communities, and start doing these self-help projects. Start being selfish about the things we do. Because if you have some problems, we start small. You say, okay, this problem costs 200 to solve. But basically, nobody wants to put hand in their pocket to contribute to solve that problem because everybody holding on and waiting. So the 200 problem increased to 1,000, later on it goes to 10,000. So we are stuck, and we start taking phone and calling on radio and start insulting our leaders that we are being abandoned. We're living in this kind of district, we're living in the possible district, this kind of community. But because of the decision that we made, and we were fooled by those things that shouldn't have mattered to us, and we use those as criteria to elect people into offices. So we're telling now, the Friends of Fubbi is telling people now, there are things that you can do for yourself, and those things should not be the basis of electing people into offices. But you should now have an independent man come election day where you can sit down and scrutinize your candidates better. You shouldn't follow people because of the gift that they give you, but what policies that they have to implement to change your life, and what example or track record has this person shown to show that they are capable of delivering. So you use those basic criteria so you elect better people and have a better leadership team to drive the country to where we want to see it.
All right, you're watching Real TV, and this is Lunchtime Live. Your usual host, Louis Kono. This afternoon we have Fubbi Harris. He's our guest. Fubbi Henry is our guest on the show this afternoon. We're talking about wide range of issue. As you heard, he talked about agriculture. Now, Liberia's agricultural plan has been good over the years, but when it comes to implementation, there has been a lot of problems. The agricultural program has fumbled over the years. Now, how do you think Liberia can be self-sufficient in food production?
There are several ways. One of the first thing we got to look at fixing our farm to market road, so that if I harvest my produce today, even if it's 1 bag of pepper, I should be able to drive from our farm to the market with ease. I should be able to reach to the market the same day, that I won't have to be stuck on the road for 2 weeks trying to get to the market. So that's one thing that government has to take very serious and make it a #1 priority to connect those counties, our breadbasket counties, for example, Lofa, Nimba, Bon, and improve the road connection so that when we have produce from our farms, we can drive to market the same day without stress. Then the next thing, government has to also put in place methods or some incentive scheme or grant for farmers. Those that will be graduating from agricultural college with those kind of degree, have some extra plan for them, so that if I know that I'm a farmer and I graduate and I have a parcel of land to go and make use of, I can be able to tap into government policy. For government policy, I said that I can be able to tap into some 100,000, 10,000, 50,000, depending on the size of the farm and what I want to produce, what I want to grow, and make use of it. And government assign extension workers to these various farmers to help them improve their yields, because some people will graduate with fresh knowledge, but at least they need the guidance of government. And you have some of the policy and guide these guys and get people working into cooperatives too, and see how we can team up from all sectors. Make use of our little waterways that we have, because you check some of our water to see fish growing there. But what do we do with the water? We just throw dirt and toilet. So how can we transform some of those water into fish ponds projects, so that we open the fishery industry and we start growing some of these nice fish that we can eat, and delicacy outside there. But right now in our country, we cannot afford to grow them. We're all looking for the fishermen to go to the sea and sell. But sometimes the cold water, also the rivers and other swamp and other land have what it takes to produce and transform. We go to animal husbandry. There are also means of how can we work on all these little things and start producing our own, because we used to do it before. where Liberia was selling eggs and other dairy products to other countries around here. Now it's the reverse. So government just have to be more focused on them and start moving from also this manual to mechanized farming. Put in place some of these things and bring some of these machines and equipment, train our local staff with the help of the experts that we can tap on and see how we can make use out of these things. And once we put all the little bits and pieces into place, and number one priority should be the road. That one, because if we have all those nice things in and the road is not there to encourage to get produce from farm to market, then I mean we are wasting our time.
All right, what's the issue of the young people, the youth? The number increases on a daily basis. And the programs of young people, how do you look at it? How can the youth transcend from being regarded as bad group of people to people that are developmental in moving their country forward?
First thing I always tell people, our school system is one area that we need to fix. If we are to have a better generation of young people coming up, we need to fix our school system. And by fixing the school system, I believe that our school system right now should have in our school's curriculum vocational skills training for all grade schools. That is, once you enter grade school, for example, from 7th grade to 12th grade, it's a compulsory thing that you learn one basic vocational skill, at least, so that when you graduate from high school, you not only graduating with academic knowledge, but you are graduating and you are ready to impact society directly. So you have those basic skills and you start working into your community, because the few vocational institution that we have cannot consume the population of the country. So, but when it's in a grade school, even if you have a different dream of becoming probably a doctor or something else, but if you have graduated with this basic skills and you find out that right now my parents don't have what it takes to send me to college, so I can now start open my little pastry shop and start making some money for myself, open my little tailor shop, start taking some carpentry contracts and start doing other things and start raising my money. If I really want to pursue other dreams, I can divert the other fee and even raise money to pay my tuition to college. So that's a program that I think will greatly help, because right now most of our graduates, they are graduated, they don't have basic skills, but they are just in the community. So because of that, they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So you find them dodging into drugs and other things, then we start to complain. And also for those guys that are already into those things, we cannot just complain and push them away. We have to now start bringing them near us, understand why they went into such, and start to see how we can start impacting some of our good values into them. So that one of the reasons you see I'm working with MAP, because I met some of these guys, they're young guys, they have what it takes, they are bright, but for some reason, one or two of them have missed the mark. So they are sitting there and all they do drink, smoke. But I said no, you do those, that's your private stuff, they're your background stuff, you're happy. Everybody have their own thing that they do somewhere in the corner. So now you guys can do something different. Besides what you do here, come to the light. Let people see you helping to clean the environment by cleaning your finish. Let people see you as development partner, the one with the electrification of the market. Let people see you as development partner working also on a carbon water project that they are doing. So you see that we are getting them involved into doing things that are positive to the society. So when you start having programs, see other people with like mine should also follow suit and see how we can incorporate these guys and transform them. Over a period of time, once they find out that they have started doing this and their values are changing, they will definitely help to transform the country. But if we just leave them and say they are wayward, they indulge in drugs and alcohol, so we don't want to be better, we create insecurity for ourselves, because when we are sleeping, they will come and bust your door. But if you encourage them to come around you and you work with them, they will start seeing you now differently, and they even tend to be security for you rather than the other way around. So,
okay, now as the election approaches, 2017 election, we see the young people of Liberia again. They were used in time past by some politicians. They're still being used in time currently. Violence from part of last week to Central Monrovia. What is your advice to young people who are allowing themselves to be used by politicians for selfish interests as we go to election?
Yeah, on that, good that you brought it up, because I also met with some of them that were proudly talking about, oh yeah, we're there, we're throwing stones at the police. I told them, I said, look, Gentlemen, go back to our history, at least let's start from 1979, because that's the freshest one that we have, and come to present. All those noise makeup politicians, let's point to one tangible thing they have done to transform this country. And they couldn't point to any. So I said, that's good. I said, okay, we have a population of roughly about 4.5 million. So take one person and divide that one by 4.5. That number is insignificant. So there is no reason for you to get on the street to say you will tear down the country because of one man. And after you have done so for that one man gets to where he wants to, you find out that he's not even looking at you, because we saw it in the past. And today you still repeating the same thing. So I said, this is not the trend. So if we keep following the trend, we find out that we will keep turning this country back in circles, like cat chasing a tail, and we're not getting anywhere. So we should now start holding people for practical actions, things that are touching, that transform people's life positively, instead of just mere talk. Because some of these guys, they know how to use the words, they craft them nicely, the nice speeches, and they're able to give it to you and convince you. But after we have tested almost 99% of them, we have found that none of them mean anything for this country. It's just a matter of using words to get their aim accomplished. So we should now move from that level. We cannot tear our country down because of one man. So if government got issue with somebody, let government handle it, and we should all just pray that we maintain a civil society and let the rule of law prevail, rather than get on the street and say, I will break down this building because we want to get one man out of jail. And probably that one man, the impact for this country is nothing. There is no positive contribution. So we should now start looking from a different point of view. Liberia is bigger than every other individual. So we shouldn't sacrifice the country for a single person.
Okay. 2017, what kind of election do you foresee? What kind of election? Bloody election? Peaceful election? What kind of election do you foresee?
We are talking and hoping that we'll have a peaceful election, though the incumbent is not contesting, but we're looking for a peaceful election, and we don't want to see this country going back because of one selfish politician that people say we will tear down the country because of this person. Liberia is bigger than everybody. I always love to draw the example from the Americans when George Bush and Al Gore contested. And at a certain point there was some issue of a vote rig in other counties, and talking about recount in Florida. And the Democrats were, oh, they got to go to do count. After there were just a few calls, look, Al Gore, America is bigger than you. You cannot displace America to the rest of the world. He called George Bush and congratulated him, and that was over. So we should now start looking at Liberia from that point. Let's be upright, and Liberia is the only country that we have that we need to secure it. Everybody will not run from here to go live in America or other country. So the country has to be secure that we can enjoy it. The remaining life that we have to live, and also set a pace for our children, so that when we are dying, we know that we are living in our good country.
All right, quite recently you brought in some traffic lights. Can you tell us about the kind of lights you brought, the purpose?
Oh, those are pedestrian street lights, and sometimes we travel, we go out, we see good things. Then the question you ask yourself, why we cannot have it in Liberia? Is it that Liberia is so bad or backward that we cannot have some of these things? So I went to Barcelona in 2014, and while crossing the street, I noticed that the streets were properly laid out, garbage bins here and there, segregation of dirt and other stuff. Then look on the road, vehicles moving. After the vehicles, the low pump, the green light for pedestrian to cross, where all the vehicles stopped and people were crossing. And people also making use of the walkways, that is not just crossing at any point. So if you're here and you have to cross, if the walkway is on that side, you have to walk to the walkway, look at the traffic light and cross from it. When it turns green. So I saw this, I said, well, why we are not seeing some of these things, or why we're not bringing some of these things back to the country? So I said, I think this is something that we have to work on. This is something that I think we can bring and see how to. So I started making research, checking on the internet what the cost of the light and see how can I work with people and see how we can team up. And I started checking, and we found a supplier in China, and one of the light to build it cost $87 US. So I said, well, this is nothing. So we were able to at least secure about 9 of them, and we brought them in, and we started to get some panels and batteries to support it because it worked with solar panel. And we said, let's bring it in and also partner with the government. I always tell people, if we support the government effort, it is for our own good. If we stay down and tear down the government, it is not for our good, because whether we like it or not, the government will be in place until the time has elapsed. So let us see where government, if we say government falls short at this point, and we can be able to meet up with government effort to boost it up, we should start working and being development partners with government instead of tearing the government down, and every day we get on radio and try to criticize the leadership, because we created a leadership. So it's our responsibility to support the leadership until the time comes that we have to bring in a new team. So I said, let's start working, talking with the police traffic division and also the public work road safety division, and we started the talk and they embraced it. They said it's a good idea. So I said, okay, then we bring in the lights and see how we'll partner with public works to do the installation. So we brought them in, we are giving them to public works ministry, and we'll be working with them on the other materials that they need to formally get it installed on the road so that pedestrians and vehicles cannot cross at the same time. That's the whole essence, improve and reduce the rates of accident on the road. Because 1 or 2 times I even tried moving on the road at the same time, almost bumped into people because we were all like seeing the green light, time for the vehicle to pass. Pedestrian also want to move at the same time because there is no sign there to have the pedestrian move safely. So I think I said this is something that we should actually start working on to change our country. Sacrifice the entire January and February for that project.
Okay, so what have been the reaction from the public since you brought in the pedestrian lights?
First, we have not formally installed it on the road.
I know that,
yeah,
but
so
the news about the
news, and since the news got out, people calling and commenting and saying that I think that's a good start in the right direction. We met the team at Public Work and they also commended us and says something good. So we're going to be working on getting the MOU with the government on that to see how we can sustain it. And just look out to see how we can be that partner for our own country. If it is for us, it has to be by us. Liberia is to be better. We are the ones that are going to make Liberia better. So let us start supporting ourselves in any way. Let us be good partners with the government. Whether you like the government or not, you have to find a way to support the government until the government tenure is over.
Okay, Lunchtime Live, we're about to end this program this afternoon on Real TV. Before we can conclude, let's get back to Fubbi and asking, what are the urgent needs of District 9, you think?
For me, usually I don't just look at District 9, as I always look at Liberia as a bigger picture. I think we have so many issues, and one of the things that we should be driving people to do, that's why from all sectors of the country, let us start getting into more of our self-help initiatives so that we can change our country faster and let's get people working. So in District 9, we have so many things that we need to do. So I need people to start looking at their community as their own private stuff. I always tell people, so when you wake up from there, see yourself as the representative of the district. How can I impact my district? If I were representative today, what are some of the things that I will do to change my district? Also look at Liberia. If I'm the president today, what are some of the things that I will do to make Liberia a better place? So if everybody wake up with that mindset, then we'll find out that we are ready to chart a new course, because we'll always be thinking of positive things to make the country and our district better. So there are the people, let's start looking out for these things, and we shouldn't move by those makeshift projects that might not take us anywhere, because those are things that we can do for ourselves. So those things that we can do for ourselves should not be the basis of electing people into office come 2017. So we want to keep emphasizing this message. Self-help initiative is the way. Don't elect people because they build you market that is not important. Don't elect people because they build you public toilet. Don't elect people because they build you hand pump or bought some Ludubu and DSTV set for you. But what the country actually needs to move forward. Those big policies that will transform people's life. I work, for example, I don't want to retire because there's no good retirement package. So you find out that at even 60, 70, I still want to work. I don't want to give way for the younger generation to take over. But if there's some good end of service benefit for me, I found out that by the time I'm 60, I'm getting tired because I want to start living on my pension. So I leave the stage, the younger generation now start having someone ready to take over. So we should start out looking at how can we make policies. Our district, for example, we have a lawmaker stay in office for more than 5 years. Not a single bill you have passed to change, you have passed that have been acted into law. So, and one of the core functions of our lawmaker is is lawmaking. So we call them lawmakers. So if you're a lawmaker, you should be able to make laws. So if you're not making laws, then I think we are heading in the wrong direction. So those are things that I'm telling people. So take time in pushing the agenda. And don't just go to the poll because you are frustrated and vote anybody. But sit down, rationalize, and help yourself, because the decision you make, you have to live with it, and also you plus your children. So think about your children when you are going to the ballot box.
All right, so that's how we come to the end of this presentation this afternoon on Real TV. Henry Fubbi it has been our guest on this presentation of Lunchtime Live on Real TV. Many thanks for being with us and right in your office. I hope to come back another time.
Okay.
That's how we go with Double Harris, our cameraman. Good afternoon.